Okay, it should be up. Good morning, guys. This is Dr. Michelle. Listen, I jumped on to tell you to get back up. Get back up, regardless of what's going on. I know it looks bleak. I know it looks hard. I know you feel like you can't make it. I know you're wondering where God is at. Get back up. Listen, the bottom is only your opportunity to start again. It is. And the reason why is because I know God is real. You can't look at me right now and see just on yesterday, I was having a full-blown panic attack, feeling like I couldn't breathe, feeling panic, feeling anxious. But guess what? God is real. He won't leave you. I'm not telling you something that I've heard. I'm not telling you something that I saw him do for somebody else, although I did. I'm telling you something that I know for myself. Get up. Get out of that funk. Get out of that depression and keep going. Listen, sometimes you got to hold on to the memories. You got to go back and think about what God did before, because guess what? It's the same God. It's the same God. The same God that brought you through this, he's going to bring you through that. The same God that helped you when nobody else was around, he's that same God. The same God you can call on in the middle of the night and he'll answer. The same God that will show up right on time. The same God who's already made a way for you out of no way. The same God who told you that if you trust me, I shall supply all your needs. The same God who thought about you, that considered you, that sent his son down to die for you so that you may have eternal life to salvation and not damnation. Listen, get up. It's going to be okay. Wipe your tears away. Stop thinking about the negative things. Stop thinking about what people did to you. Stop holding on to hate. And this is one is for me this morning. Unforgiveness. Because guess what? God had a plan for you before you even went through everything you're going through. He already ordained it that you would get through what you're going through. He's not going to bring you through something that he won't bring you through. God has already made it victorious. The end of the story is that you win. And as long as you keep in mind that you're going to survive, that you win, that gives you the initiative to keep on going. Depression doesn't have any place in your life. It's not of God. Come on, suicidal thought is not of God. Feeling defeated is not of God. Feeling like you can't make it. Listen, those are human things. Those are human things that we go through, but those are not the things that God have destined for our life. Those are not the avenues that God would have us to take, because listen, the word says that God would have us and want us to have an abundance. God desired that all us be saved. He has his mind on us because we are so valuable. I told you your value has just gone up with the things that you know. My people perish because of lack of knowledge. But if you know who you are and you know whose you are and you understand that God is real and you trust in that and you push towards that and you look for the truth and you seek for the truth, guess what? You find out that there's no other like God. Man will betray you. Man will do something to you and then blame it all on you. Man will hurt you. Man will send you to your deathbed, and then still won't wake up until it's too late. So you don't put your trust in man. You put your trust in God. Yes, it's okay to allow people to love you. God gave us here, put us here also for fellowship, for to love on each other. That's the beautiful thing of a husband and wife, because it says when one fall down, two are better than one, because the other one can help the other one up. When it's night, one can look while the other rests, because there's coming a time where you're going to have somebody watching your back no matter what. You can't live in this world by yourself, so you got to learn how to love people. You got to learn how to listen. You got to learn how to compromise, because guess what? Life is hard. And although we see on social media everywhere, it look like everybody living the dreams of their life, everybody happy, everybody this, everybody listen. Don't be distracted by the foolishness. That's what social media is for, to invent the life that we want to invent, to make people see what we want to see. But I got a whole life that you would never know anything about, because I put out there what I want to put out there. And that's what everybody else does. But don't think that you got it worse than anybody else. Don't think that people are not going through anything. Don't think that God is picking on you and that God has left you. God will never forsake you nor leave you. He gave you his word, and he will never go back on his word, because he can't go against himself. God created you for purpose. He's not going to waste his time on his purpose. Come on, somebody. God is not going to waste his time creating a masterpiece and then not allow that art to shine. You are art. You are a piece of art. You are a piece of work. You are everything to God. And like I told you some years ago, that's why you got to get it in your mind that you are everything. Don't let life distract you and take away what it is on the inside of you. Don't let life dim your light. Don't let people make you think that you aren't everything when you are everything. Don't let life make you think that you can't make it. Don't let life take away the blessings that God has for you. We get so distracted by everything else that sometimes we allow the devil to come in and snatch our blessing. God give you a blessing and tell you this for you, you let the enemy come right in and snatch it by playing with your mind. It's a very important thing to think highly on the ways of God, to think on the things of God, to think on God and not on those other things. It's a reason why you have to control your mind so that you can control your own body and your own being, your actions and your thoughts. It's a reason why you have to get master over this brain, this thing right here, because it's the thing that's going to set you free. You can be bound and chains, but if your mind is free, you have the ability to get out of those chains. See, we are blessed. God gave us a mind that we can manifest the things that we want in our life. We can't keep just letting the devil run all over us, all nilly-willy, taking from us, stealing from us. Listen, I know I'm right at my blessing, my big breakthrough. Not only am I walking in my dream, producing my feature film for Trouble Won't Last Always one, but also the serious is coming behind it because listen, everything that could be happening is happening, but I can't let the devil distract me. We know that he's cunning. We know that he can quote the scripture. We know that he can come in other forms and send you things that you thought was straight from God and it end up being like a total a total disaster. But when you know God, you know that you know that the devil has no power. I keep telling you guys, our thought is a powerful thing. He has only the power that we give him. The devil can only give suggestions, right? Suggestive motives, suggesting models. Like if you do this and put things in your mind, because that's how he works. But if you master your mind and you renew your thinking daily get in the presence of God and have a talk with him. Daily get in the presence of God and see yourself where you want to be. Confess those things that you want. And if you want God to turn a situation around that you feel like you messed up, just go to him. Be like, God, listen, I need to fix that. But I don't have the way or the will and I don't know how. And give it to God and watch God fix it. I'm telling you guys, sometimes you got to rely on your memories. You got to go back and say, he did it that time, he'll do it again. Sometimes you got to go back to a good place in your life so that you can strengthen yourself. Sometimes you got to go back to the place where you be like, oh, that felt so good. That was awesome. So that you can encourage yourself in the Lord. So that you can keep on going. Don't let the devil distract you. God has not left you. God has not forsaken you. God will not give up on you. God is real. As real as you see me right here, God is a real, just God. So listen, I told you the other day it's time to fight. Then I told you your value went up. I even told you try Jesus, but not me. Come on, somebody. You try to take it. Sometimes we go too far. We try to take the human side of us and then just, make it so holy that we feel like we can't react and have emotions and let God deal with us. No, you got to go through the experience. Stop going in circles through the same test over and over again because you refuse to grow up. God is trying to bless you. He's trying to get your attention. He's trying to get you to grow up. He's trying to get you to move on his behalf. And most importantly of all, I'm going to tell you something. When somebody tell you something and it comes across in love, when somebody has been trying to get something through to you and you fight that thing and you don't want to hear it, listen, sometimes it's coming through the voice of God. God is not going to tell you something that's going to make you worse. If it's for your better, listen. Listen and check it out, because I'm going to tell you what. When somebody tell me something and I go back and I get in the presence of God, I can say, yeah, that's true, God. I need to work on that. But don't be a fool. A fool does not adhere to the wisdom and the words of God. A carnal man cannot receive the spiritual things of God. In this lifetime, you got to learn to listen to people. In this lifetime, you got to learn to receive knowledge when knowledge is being given to you. It's not to say that you don't know anything, but only a fool won't receive wisdom. Knowledge is power. So I'm telling you, understand today that God is real. He has not forgot about you. Get up out your misery. Fight for what you want. It's time to fight. The devil knows the time is near. He's trying to deceive and manipulate everybody with any way he can. But you got the power on the inside of you, because you made in the image of God. Don't forget who you are. And don't forget to set your crown up straight. Set your crown up straight, both kings and queens. You are the royal priesthood, the royal priesthood family of God. There's nothing shady, weak, cheap, or not notable about you. You are everything. Trust in God and watch He direct your path. This is Dr. Michelle. Be blessed.